Hello. Today we're looking at some ways to resolve errors when you're opening Sage 200 or using Sage 200. Now basically, when you're using Sage, you could get an error message when you're doing a process or even when you're opening up Sage 200. Sometimes this can be related to temporary files on your PC. So the way your PC works is when you use any program, whether it be Sage or Word or Excel, it creates a number of temporary files. So when you're doing things, it'll update that on your machine to make sure it doesn't lose any information. Sometimes if your PC crashes or Sage crashes, then it can become damaged. So how can we see if we can resolve that query? So first thing to do is to close fully out of Sage 200 if you can get into it. If you've got any errors on the screen, just close out of any errors so you're back to your desktop. So the first step we're going to be doing is we're going to be going in and having a look to see if we can clear any old temporary files. Now, if you're not sure about this, please contact your IT person or contact us on our support desk. So the first thing to do is to find the temp folder. The easiest way to do that is if you open up your file explorer, which is usually signified by a yellow folder icon, and type in percentage temp percentage. This will take you to your local temp folder. So if you can see here, I've gone into my temp folder and into a numbered folder. So if I go back one step to temp, this is where all of the temporary files are living at the moment. So obviously, they've got lots of random names. We don't know if any of them relate to Sage or anything else. However, temp files normally get removed after you've done processes. So the best thing to do here is to try clearing them down. So the easiest thing to do when you're on this screen here is hold your control key down on the keyboard and press A, and that selects everything on this list. What you then need to do is on your keyboard, press the delete button. Obviously mine's gone through. So as you can see, this is the message that will pop up if any of the files or folders are in use. It will give you a message saying it can't be completed as a file or folder is open within another program. You would then tick the do this for all current items and skip. That will mean any files that are currently open and locked won't be removed or be attempted to be removed because they're in use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can find some other files that may relate to Sage that could cause a problem. So what I would do on my bar along the top is click on the words AppData. It takes me back to a level where I have three folders called local, local low and roaming. Within here, if I go into the roaming folder and into the Sage folder, I have a Sage 200 folder here. Now, sometimes a file in here can get corrupted, so the best thing to do is to right click and rename, and maybe put something on the end like old, or maybe doing a hyphen and putting today's date in. So my date today is April. Here we go, and I've renamed it. Things like this will get recreated when you try opening Sage. So now we've done this, we will go through to try to open Sage. It will go through and it will create any temporary files that it needs to create and recreate any files that have been renamed. So obviously my Sage is opening without an error. If I go back into my AppData folder, into roaming and Sage, you can see the folder I renamed has been replaced by the new folder. Obviously there's no file in there at the moment, but the file gets written to when I've closed Sage. If I go back to my local and temp, it's then recreated and put some more temporary files in the system. Now obviously this may not work for you in the fact that if there's an error that's relating to something else other than temp files, you may need to contact us on support, which will be sagesport@pkfscs.co.uk, and then we will be able to help you.